Hello and welcome. This is Jill Wigmore-Welsh with another episode. Today, here it is the 12th of August, 2026, and it's a lovely morning. It's very clear, but we do have heat warnings today, and I'm not surprised because it hasn't rained for a long time, and I'm sure, like a lot of people around the globe, we're all experiencing huge climate change, etc. So I'm making an interesting and important announcement today, and that is that I'm going to be running Feldenkrais lessons online. And most specifically, there are going to be a mixture of health-directed Feldenkrais lessons, so Feldenkrais for health. Also, slightly my own variant, if you like, of bringing together different elements of work that align with Feldenkrais. But this series is going to be based around a sort of workshop that Feldenkrais himself gave way back in 1972, which is approximately 50 years ago. And it was at a place called Esalen. And I'm going to read you the introduction. Now, if I can just hasten at this point and say, I'm not going to just read the lessons as they were published. I will be, if you like, slightly adjusting them so that they are in my language and maybe to make some elements a little bit more straightforward. The lessons that I put up would be around 45 minutes long, with about 10 to 15 minutes at the end if people want to sort of ask questions, etc. And that's going to hopefully start in sometime in September, providing I have sufficient people to make it work. And I'll be putting up a join the waiting list box in the sort of piece of stuff blog, I suppose, that goes with this recording. So that's it. You'll be able to see it. And if you click through on that picture and the link that's below, you'll be able to go straight along, join the waiting list, put your email, name in, and then as soon as I've got enough people, we'll be ready to roll and we can get this going all over the world. So today I'm going to read you part of the introduction to this lesson, and then I'll come back tomorrow and I'll do a bit more reading to cover off the whole of the introduction. So here we go. Oh, and I'm reading the book I'm reading from. It's a publication by Feldenkrais Resources, and it was introduced by David Zemak-Bursin. So this is the introduction, and I'm just going to read a couple of pages. In 1972, Moshe Feldenkrais was invited to teach for 5.5 weeks at the Esalen Institute in Big Sur, California. Brackets, I don't know where that is. He didn't bracket that, but I'm just saying I don't know. He'd visited the United States twice before, first in 1958 to teach and study at the Rusk Institute for Rehabilitation Medicine in New York City, and in 1970 for a brief stay at the Esalen Institute. Founded in 1962, the Esalen Institute was an important centre for the development of new ideas in philosophy, education, psychology, Eastern spirituality, medicine, somatics, and what would later become known as the field of embodied cognition. Esalen was a combination of gathering places in which intellectuals from these various fields could interact, and a place where they could test their new ideas by teaching workshops which were open to the public. Dr. Feldenkrais' invitation to teach at Esalen for 5 weeks was a landmark event, signalling the first swell of interest outside of Israel in his approach to human development. Many of the participants at the workshop were already leaders in what was termed the human potential movement. This social and cultural movement had emerged primarily out of humanistic and existential psychology, and its central tenet was the idea that each individual has the potential for growth, self-fulfillment, and self-determination. Feldenkrais's ideas about the plasticity of the brain and our ability to learn new ways of sensing, thinking, moving, and acting fit in perfectly. The world was finally catching up to him. Sponsored by Esalen and organised by psychologists Stanley Kellerman and Will Schutz, the 14 invited participants in Feldenkrais's workshop included psychotherapists Seymour Carter, Jack Downing, Betty Fuller, and Richard Price, and Alexander Technique teachers Frank Ottewell, Ilana Ribbenfeld, and Judith Stransky. Both the participants and Dr. Feldenkrais considered the course as a teacher training in awareness through movement. And at the end, each person was given a certificate, allowing them to teach ATM. The Esalen notes are very accurate notes made by workshop participant Judith Stransky. With Dr. Feldenkrais's permission, she'd type up the notes each night from audio tapes of his classes. The awareness through movement lessons featured in the Esalen course were all approximately 45 minutes long. In addition to recordings made by the Esalen Institute and the participants, Feldenkrais taped each lesson himself because he was considering the possibility of publishing them as an audio cassette program. So that's all I'm going to read for today. There are another 2 pages to go. So tomorrow I'm going to read the next instalment. So I look forward to doing that. And as I say, the lessons are going to be online. They will be my blend, if you like, of my background of being an advanced practice physiotherapist who originally studied zoology and movement work. So movement and patterns of development are very familiar to me. Advanced practice in neurological and orthopedic rehabilitation, having studied various elements like Peto, Bobath, Rude, more, if you like, contemporary approaches, and of course in rehabilitation, working with behavioural change, working with incremental changes, working extensively with Team GB, being a Team GB member herself. So not just working with Team G, but being in Team GB for 3 Olympic sports, elite athletes, etc. So I'm bringing with me my heritage, and also the fact that I have actually been teaching and integrating Feldenkrais into my work since 1990, which is quite a long time. I've completed advanced training with many well-known trainers, and I'm also a trainer. Ruthie Allon certified me as a trainer in her work. And that's about it, really. I hope you have a lovely day. It's a very short one today, no movements, because I'm just explaining a little bit about how things are going to happen in the future. Very exciting times, and as I say, I look forward to talking to you again, and maybe if you sign up, we have an opportunity to meet again online from wherever you may be to wherever I may be. We can always talk, and have a lovely day. Take care, love you, and look after yourself. Bye.